Clementine Ford is a feminist writer who's very used to terrible vitriol when she writes about equality and some of the issues that women face. Well, recently, when she was writing about the terrible comments that she gets, one man by the name of Nolan thought it would be a good idea to comment on that post by calling her a slut. So after he called her a slut on Facebook, she realized, well, I can probably click on his page and see what his identity is and maybe even see where he works. And sure enough, she did find out where he works. The original comment was posted by Nolan on November 25th in response to a post where Ford called out another man for making degrading comments. Clementine Ford says, I wonder if the folks over at Meriton Apartments are aware that a man listing himself as a supervisor for their business likes to leave comments on women's Facebook pages calling them sluts. She then went ahead and contacted the employer, and Nolan got fired.
So, of course, then people are mad about this.
They attacked her for it because they think that, as a person who's being attacked on the internet as a slut, as every negative, terrible word you can imagine, you should just sit there and take it. You shouldn't hold the person who's on a public forum insulting people accountable for his actions, because that would be unacceptable.
So Tariq Musa wrote about this on Daily Beast and pointed out some interesting things and saying, look, it's weird that people say freedom of speech. Now, first, of course, let's just get the obvious out of the way, which is freedom of speech is so the government can't take away your rights. So, and freedom of speech applies both ways. He has the freedom of speech to call her a slut, and the government can't lock him up. It doesn't mean that his employer can't fire him if he says that. If he had called someone in the office a slut, obviously he's got freedom of speech and he can't be locked up, but also obviously his employer can fire him. Everybody agrees with that, right? Now, the writer here pointed out, well, doesn't she also have freedom of speech? And why do you yell at her for her using her freedom of speech and saying, well, you attacked me.
Right.
And so I'm not even going to attack you back. I'm just going to point out what you said. Hey, if you're proud of it, you should be happy, right? I'm now going to forward that to your employer. If you've done something great, well, I mean, whatever it was, you wrote it in a public forum. I'm forwarding it to your employee. If you're proud of it, great. If you're not, that's, for you to deal with. I'm using my speech as you use your speech. At a minimum, we call that even.
Yeah.
Even though she was the one being attacked in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's a great argument using our Constitution for reasoning. However, I mean, let's just be common sense individuals about this situation. You are an adult who is on a public forum using your identity to say horrible things about people. Here's the thing. You have consequences for your actions. That's the way the world works. You're an adult. You should understand that, okay? So if you have the balls to go on this woman's page and call her all sorts of names in a very public way, well, first of all, your employer could find that without you even having to, get women to tell on you or whatever, right? Look, I don't think what she did was wrong. I'm going to put it out there. I wouldn't do it because I'm not in the business of policing what people think about me. You think I'm a slut? God bless you. Go ahead and think that I'm a slut, right? I'm not. It's fine.
By the way, I am an actual slut. Okay.
I've dealt with that type of vitriol and that type of rhetoric for 9 years now working here, right? And I'm used to it, and I just ignore it and I move on with my life. But I always find it really interesting when men on Instagram or Facebook who are married or in relationships send me their dick pics, and they think that there's absolutely no chance that I would send that picture to their wives or their girlfriends.
And you know what
I wouldn't do it, but you need to be careful because you're doing something in a very risky way.
So their reaction, if you had done that, is the same reaction that these people are having here. How dare you? No, but wait a minute. Not how dare you for sending the dick pic when you're married to someone who didn't ask for it.
Exactly.
Right? But how dare you take the incredibly inappropriate thing I did and tell other people about it? What an insane upside-down world that is. But look, a lot of people feel this way. Look, we got a question on our app. We want you guys to participate, but a lot of people already voted. We said a woman got a man fired for his job after he called her a slut on Facebook. Do you think this is fair? Only 40% said yes. 60% so far saying no, okay? So, look, I'm curious where the voting winds up on that. But my final analysis is very similar to Anna's.
Yeah.
I've never forwarded anybody that anybody has written about me online to anybody, believe me, I can forward a lot. Right?
Yeah.
There's millions of comments against me online. One, ain't nobody got time to worry about your comments, let alone figuring out who the hell you are and sending it to other people. Probably your friends and family already know what an idiot you are, so I don't
Yeah.
need to remind them, right? I hope your employers know, but perhaps they don't know because they've employed you. But am I going to hate on her for doing it? No. And if it turns out that this makes people a little bit more careful, and I guarantee you the people defending this guy are like, oh, liberals, with their victim ideology. Oh, she ratted me out for calling her a slut. I'm such a victim. No, you said it. Man up. It's called personal responsibility.
That's exactly right. And we're living in this day and age where people don't want to take personal responsibility. They want to use the internet as a shield against any and all consequences for their bad behavior. And I'm tired of it. Guess what? The internet is not a personal, tool that you can use to attack others, threaten others, and say whatever you want. They have real life consequences. And if you don't like those consequences, then stop being a dick.